social media community standards. That's a topic that I picked real quick, and I am not going to dive into that tonight. That's coming. But I wanted to do a little interlude real quick, kind of a teaser. Before I do that, I need to check my cams, make sure I'm visible. You know who you're talking to? Kind of bright in here tonight. It's coming up on midnight. Just making sure all my stuff is working before I set the mood. Yeah, it is. This is how my studio looks in my office, where I do my crime prevention technology stuff. That's coming. Y'all like that mailbox cam? I'm going to show you guys how to use home portable battery operated cameras, but that's for the Lewis surveillance. We're talking about James Lewis, homeowner. So anyway, let me take these cams out. And just leave me right here. So, community standards. I've been doing some researching. Let me bring them up real quick, because I'm across a few platforms right now on social media and doing different things. I'm gonna start with Twitter. I'm not going through it, but I've read through them enough to know where not to cross the line. Okay, now Twitter is hot right now, so they can't be talking about too much about their community standards. But let's go over here to TikTok. I would love to show you guys my TikToks. Right now I'm doing some things on there, and it's not Nextdoor friendly, so what I'm doing on TikTok violates the guidelines here in Nextdoor. But I've gone through TikTok, looked through them. Instagram, I've gone through those too. The areas that are more important as to public bullying, disrespectful, offensive, racial, overly too political. Read them. Facebook, who hasn't been in Facebook jail, okay? We all been in Facebook jail. So I looked through there, looked through there. Then Nextdoor community guidelines. Now, compared to the rest of them, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, there's a little bit different, because mostly moderators, well, they all have community moderators, okay? And you can sometimes find within a community of moderators, they're a little bit biased when they know people within the community. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all here on Nextdoor been locked out. But we're going to talk about James Lewis real quick. But this is not the piece that I'm doing right now. This is kind of like the teaser. And then I'm going to get back to the criminal stuff. But I've readjusted myself to the Nextdoor community guidelines. So, but to show you guys real quick, I know y'all saw my YouTubes, And as a matter of fact, I didn't realize I had quite a few fans out there, especially over where I live. I'm going to play the game and not bring up the names, but we all know who the players are. It's all quite known. Let me see here. Oh, but I want to go to this real quick. So the other day, I remember I had a couple of posts hidden, and I just want to point this out to you real quick. I appealed them. I already knew that they were going to be denied, but I had like right here. This is very interesting. And I read the guidelines, and I didn't see anything that said, well, a YouTube post was hidden because it may have broken the guideline of being disrespectful and public shaming. But there was also some other stuff to that because they locked me out. Well, they didn't lock me out. Once I came back to log in about 2 or 3 days later, and just so that people know, this is not my life. I do security camera systems, and I'm a retired police officer. We all know that. So my little battle that I'm doing within my own community, that's at my leisure and pleasure, as I will say. But just know one thing, I am trying to send some people to jail for crimes that's been violated within the California laws, okay? And so it appears that these criminals, some call them criminals, because when you take people's money that's designated for one area and then you move it into another area that is not designated for and not tell them, that's a crime. It's all in the books. I know it for sure, and I know what I'm doing. But anyway, let's go back to this. So also when in here they had politics. Okay, when I logged in, I had to check a thing about, do I agree not to talk about politics? Well, I think the most important thing would have been the fact that I may have been disrespectful. I may have done public shaming, but it wasn't no specific. So I went, I went in. I was like searching. And I went on and through there. I don't see anything about violations of may have. Okay. So what I did was I contacted Nextdoor headquarters. I just made some inquiries, brought up some scenarios, and I got some very interesting answers. Very interesting. Okay? Now, like Twitter is headquarters in San Francisco. Nextdoor is headquarters in San Francisco. San Francisco is where I was born and raised. San Francisco, where I was a public law enforcement officer for 33 years. I have a lot of connections in there. A lot of friends in San Francisco. A lot of political connections. And I've made some phone calls. I got some things working. I'm gonna keep that to myself for right now. But anyway, when I said may have to Nextdoor, the people I was talking to, a couple of people, I got transferred around. And they said, Mom, do you want us? I said, nope. I don't want y'all to do nothing. I don't want y'all to do nothing. I got this. So, I'm going to switch my format and just don't talk about names. Okay, now it's gonna get real interesting, but that's coming. So y'all stay tuned. It's gonna get real interesting. And see, I already know that it ain't nobody coming to Nextdoor doing this type of stuff because they don't have no reason to. The only reason why I am on Nextdoor is because it allows me to reach the victims of the policies and criminal allegations that I'm talking about that's been done within my community. And what's going to be very unique is that when I actually go to Sacramento, see, normally you can file your complaints with the Department of Justice, California Department of Justice. I'm going to do a story and videotape. I might have a local news station follow me because they kind of waiting for me to do what I'm going to do. But it's coming. It's coming. So with that, I want certain people to have a very good night. And with that, I think that's about to tune out. I'll be back, but within the guidelines of Nextdoor. Ooh, that kind of faded.